behind the screen.
Yeah. The door open all the time and yep. So I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go down this guy. We're going to share with you some secret footage we haven't shown before. This goes back, I would say, about 3 years ago when we had just given birth to our son Fox. We decided we did not want to live in a yurt anymore with a young family. We had planned on having more kids, and the one-room studio nature of a yurt didn't appeal to us like it did back when we were just a couple. We have 17 acres in the forest, and we knew which part of the 17 acres we wanted a permanent house to be at. It was obviously in an elevated and extremely sunny part of our property. Elevated so that we escape any kind of flooding because we live in a rainforest, and sunny because the sun disappears during the wintertime, late fall and early spring, and we wanted to maximize our solar potential, not only for solar electricity, but also to warm the house naturally and keep mold away and keep it dry. So we had a neighbor who had an excavator. He agreed to help us level out a home site, and then we found a good deal on these extremely heavy 5,000 or 6,000 pound concrete blocks you normally see on freeways or roads. They are also used to create retaining walls. We decided to use them to elevate our home off the ground and essentially build a pole house that was built out of metal sea cans, shipping containers.
Welcome to my front yard medicinal garden. This is where it's gonna be. This is where the house is gonna be. That crane just got dropped off the other day because tomorrow is the big day that we're getting our shipping containers. Whoop, whoop. This is going to be a collection of our kitchen garden slash medicinal herb garden. So I'm going to walk out the front door of our kitchen and just be able to harvest stuff for our meals. And the crane is here because tomorrow our shipping containers get lifted into place. So it's a very big day tomorrow. Let me go show you the garden and the future greenhouse. Without giving too much away, but in between the house and the greenhouse, we're gonna have our new outdoor kitchen, new pizza oven, and wok stove. This is going to be our greenhouse. In these pots here, we have Cape gooseberry, aka ground cherry. This is going to be the pathway leading up to the greenhouse.
Hey.
I almost fell.
Do you want to?
Well, we appreciate you building it.
Really?
Well, we're going to help as much as we can.
All right, I got all the blocks out. And it was during that time that I wanted to up my game to a formal professional sawmill, which I was doing already with a chainsaw Alaskan mill. So I purchased this one that was a build-it-yourself, completely in pieces, every nut and bolt I had to build from scratch, and it wasn't a project I was very happy with. I don't really have a desire to build a sawmill from scratch. I had a desire to use the sawmill, but I felt like this was going to be the sawmill for us. Ready? Here we go. So you can see the amount of packaging. There's a young 6 or 8 month old Fox. And we put together every bolt, every wire, every bit of the frame, every bit of the engine, and every bit of the raising and lowering mechanism. We built the sawmill kind of like the Death Star, to partially operational, and then tucked it away out of the rain for about 2.5 years as we developed the bug out property, built up the container house, and got pregnant again with River and Willow, our twin girls, and gave birth to them. So now we are a family of 5, and we return back to our roots to use this sawmill in order to frame out the shipping container house. See the yurt behind Nicolle there? Let me show you a younger Jake and Nicolle before we had kids and what it took to get us to this point. When Nicolle and I had been together about a year and a half, we decided to retrofit this Delica van into a sleeper.
Our new van bed.
And go off on an adventure to a new property that we'd acquired and live in the van as we built a life for ourselves in the middle of the temperate rainforest. The only way to get to the property is by boat, so we got one of these inflatable striker boats with a 20 horsepower outboard on it, and that was the only way we had to get back and forth from wilderness to civilization.
Second try.
We uncovered an old logging road on our property, and that gave us a solid foundation. We got our water from puddles of rain at the beginning, and we stomped around trying to find a home site amongst the acreage. That's beautiful. The property was severely overgrown, mostly with alder, salmonberry, salal, and hemlock.
PERGOLA, I don't know if you guys have ever seen that movie, but
I knew that I couldn't have this wonderful girl live with me for long in a van, so we brought with us a yurt, and we were going to live in the yurt long term. That's so cool, you're trying to save the moss. This yurt is 30-foot diameter, and the yurt itself is a glorified tent of sorts. Our idea was that the yurt would allow us to pay cash for something, escape debt, escape a mortgage, and with proper care, yurts can last for decades and decades. I had stayed in a yurt before when I had traveled to Mongolia, and I really thought they were a beautiful structure. Humans have been living in teepees and yurts for thousands and thousands of years or more, and we were trying to find some place that would give us a solid foundation that wouldn't sink into the earth. We decided to just continue uncovering the logging road and build the yurt we were going to live in the middle of a confluence that had 3 logging roads coming into one. These logging roads are put in so that the huge logging trucks can truck logs out of the forest, and so they build them up, 6 to 9 feet above the forest floor. So we got to clearing the spot. Initially, we were cutting down as little amount of trees as possible, and we brought in a few materials, like these concrete blocks that we ended up putting the 4x4s and 4x6s that we purchased as the elevated foundation and deck that the yurt would sit on. The yurt itself proved to be a difficult structure to build a platform for because of its need to be circular. I never built anything circular before, and it's quite a different task than building something square. This particular drone shot of the circle platform was a badge of honor for us. We felt really good creating this perfect circle 4 to 6 feet off the ground in the middle of the forest. One of the hardest things that Nicolle and I had done at the time that really tested our relationship was build the platform. Not only was the platform itself and its circular nature difficult to build, it's also difficult sometimes to be living 24 hours a day, 7 days a week with your partner and building something with them, and the living conditions being in a van with mosquitoes, black flies, buffalo gnats everywhere, lots of rain, and the cold nights really tested us. But once the yurt began to go up, it was really a fun process.
Look at this! This is so nice, babe.
You like the screen?
It's so nice. Like, look at this. This is a really freaking nice. I didn't know it came with a screen.
I know. The door open all the time and no bugs.
We have keys to our house. We haven't had keys to
Oh shit, it's broken.
I have a home.
Oh my God. Those of you who have followed our channel for quite some time have seen us build this yurt before, but we thought it was important just to show you the history of what we've been living in the past 5 years so that you know where we've come from. If you notice, the yurt is surrounded by foliage, alder, hemlock, spruce, Doug fir, and cedar. We truly are in a temperate rainforest. There are tropical rainforests and there are rainforests in temperate climates. So the rainforest we live in can get 12 to 20 feet of rain per year, but it's also a colder climate where the sun will disappear low in the sky for months on end during the wintertime. This proved to be very challenging for us in the first 2 years especially because the yurt had a hard time blocking moisture from getting inside. Even though we have a wood stove inside the yurt which heats up and dries out the living space, our wood was wet and we didn't have enough time to season wood since we were newbies to the area. The first 2 years were very challenging to get a hot fire going that wasn't full of smoke. But we did the best we could, and Nicolle created quite an amazing living space worthy of a viral Pinterest post inside the yurt. As you can see, everything is like a studio apartment. There's no walls, no compartmentalization. So the living room, the wood stove, the bedroom, and the kitchen are all in the same space. We built a loft to initially hold the bed, which we later changed to holding all of our food stores and other items we wanted to store away. And we've survived now for nearly 5 years living in this large 30-foot diameter yurt. Nicolle and I wanted to start a family together and have kids for quite some time. Then there was this business of the pandemic, which started in 2020. We decided not to wait, and we wanted to start our family. And when Nicolle became pregnant, we started to realize that a yurt might not be the best place to raise a child for many reasons. In the back of my mind, I always wanted to build an earthship house that featured recycled materials or materials from the earth like cob. We decided that we would go for it and design a shipping container house that would enable us to have a kitchen and living room, bathroom, and food storage area on the bottom floor, average sized bedrooms, a master bedroom, and a kid's bedroom on the top floor. Our design was to include 6 of what's called high cube 40-foot long sea cans or shipping containers, 4 of them on the bottom and 2 of them on top. This entire exercise of building a house ourselves out of recycled materials has been a test of patience and a group effort collaborating with friends and other professionals.
Can you see it now?
I feel that our life has 5 moving parts. Part 1 is the tropical bug out property. Part 2 is learning to sail enough to cross oceans. Part 3 is having children and trying to be a family and be the best parents we can be. Part 4 is surviving the modern day with pandemics and inflation. And part 5 is this shipping container house. So while we were being good parents and trying to lay the foundations of our loving, healthy family, we had these shipping containers delivered to our friend who runs a barge and can load them up on his barge and take them across the ocean and deliver them to our remote boat access only acreage.
Hello.
What do you think? Is this still a good idea or what?
Yeah, I'm very excited.
You are? 再见. The green container had all the windows and will become our portable laundry room and battery containment area. And the cream-colored containers will all be part of the house. Living in a yurt for so many years, we really miss having compartmentalization and we miss having doors and rooms. So this shipping container house will have an open floor plan for the kitchen and living room, but it will have rooms for the kids' rooms, master bedroom, and upstairs, downstairs split. We got the containers on our friend's barge. He brought them across the ocean, and the tilt deck truck was able to drive them off the barge to our location, slide them off on site. And luckily, our friend who owned the barge also owned a crane that was strong enough to pick up these massive containers and put them in the configuration they needed to be in to match our design. And this was a very stressful day because we had been working on this project for over 3 years, and finally the containers were being delivered, and our dream, our idea, was now right in front of us in real form. It was also nerve-wracking because we cut the containers before we shipped them. and we had welded in some temporary support beams so that they would stay strong during the shipping. But as soon as you cut out a wall of a shipping container, you decrease its strength. And we were very concerned that these containers we had put so much time and energy into getting to our site would break and crack in the middle as we were lifting them into place. We were fortunate to have a beautiful day with no wind and perfect sun. This is the first 2 containers being put into location. They are the stronger ones because they have all the walls intact. This will be the food storage and pantry. We placed it on the north side of the container, so it's always in the dark, always cold, and will be more suitable for keeping food preserved. We had a couple local neighbors that thought it was a cool project that came over to help, like our friend Josh here. This is the second container, which we offset to the left in order to make an overhang so that we can create a mud room on the left when we come home from fishing and from hiking and mushroom picking. We will be able to seek refuge from the rain underneath that overhang. And we welded extra supports on the contact point so that that container overhangs, but it's also stronger than normal because the increased weld points, you can see them resting on the container below. The third container was the beginning of the stressful moment because you see how the whole wall is removed to create open concept plan, and that weakens the container. And so we really had to take our time and be smooth as silk as we drop these down carefully. Luckily, our friend who owns the barge and the crane is a surgeon when it comes to being a boat captain and being a crane operator.
Okay, so we are currently standing in your bedroom. What do you think? Do you like your bedroom? And then down at the other end there is Jake and I's bedroom. So this is just half of it. This one's going up top today. So they're lifting it up and adding it to the one that's already up there. And then we just have 2 more to put on the bottom, and that's it. Yep, they're working very hard. And so are we. We're the support. Whoop, whoop. Yep, we're the cheerleaders on the side.
This is the second container going on the top floor, and this is a good angle where you can see we lined up things perfectly. I really felt such pride each time we got a container safely and perfectly in position because so much planning and patience and effort went into setting all this up. I was trying to remain strong and focused on the outside, but I got to tell you, I was very much relieved when this container successfully and safely made it into its position. One of the most fortunate parts of this whole process was that we chose a couple days to put the containers in position where it wasn't raining. I feel that if it was a downpour, it would have made everything dirty and muddy and slippery and would have greatly complicated the project. We were very fortunate to have great weather with low wind and sun. And that's a great shot of the container making the 180-degree turn around the crane truck into position. And once we dropped that one down, Nicolle and I looked at each other and had a moment of silent celebration as our home was no longer a figment of our imagination, but it was a reality sitting there right in front of us. We have a lot of shipping container hardware that you can see in this shot that locks the containers together. Before we live in it, we're also going to weld them together. And now the container house was configured. Little did we know that Nicolle was pregnant with twins at this time, and shortly after this scene was shot, we would have to abandon the container for nearly 2 years as we returned to our bug out location, our midwife, to give birth to River and Willow. Let's fade to modern day and say hello to our cat Ginseng and return to our yurt in the forests which has taken us 2 months to clean and restore to livable nature. The summer has now hit. It's 2 months of dry, buildable weather, and we've given ourselves until the end of the month of August to get this container house framed out, insulated, roofed, and ready to go to live in. Subscribe and visit our new videos each week to see us abandon the yurt and live in the sea can house full time. All right.
Oh my God, I love it. Is that the roof? Like, that's it?
Yeah.
Oh, you did such a good job. Good job. High five.
Can you sense Nicolle patronizing me?
It looks great.
That's how far we'll overhang the house.
Looks great.
Okay, so the deck will come out to here. Support post will be where I'm standing. It'll actually overhang about 1.5 feet, 2 feet. So the containers are 8 feet. So 2 containers, 16 feet with an extra deck. Watch, I'll show you right here. See, one roof on the lower container, one roof on the upper container. Move this beam? No. Yeah, probably spin it.
How's the sweeping going?
It's good. Obviously got to clean this up out here. It's unruly, but we're excited that we have all these chives. We planted these stinging nettles and different kinds of onions and green onions and scallions. I already came out here and tended to some of these beds and put potatoes and all the ones you see new black soil. And one thing I'm super excited about is all the asparagus that I've been harvesting. This is already my 3rd harvest. I didn't film the other ones. It just became May, first week of May, and it's just asparagus, asparagus, asparagus. Every time I cut it, it comes back. I'll come back here in another couple days. It'll be a whole nother harvest. If you guys have followed our channel, you've seen me mill before, but the mill, that's the green one, it's a smaller mill. It's still a good mill, but smaller, and we've been cutting mostly eucalyptus, strawberry guava with that. You know, it's been a long time goal of mine to be able to charge an electric car or e-bikes with the sun, with solar panels. Now we've done that, and it's also been a long time goal for me to produce my own lumber with trees that are on site for free at just the cost of gas. So let's see if we can do it. You guys can watch. see all that sawdust on that log?
Yeah.
Scoop it and put it in your truck.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Up.
All right. So that was a pretty nice sized log, pretty straight. It wasn't that big, but it gave me 16-foot lengths, and it gave me 3 2x7s and 1 1x7. So I'm pretty impressed, and the quality of this wood is great. Like the sawmill I have in the tropics doesn't do this quality, and the chainsaw mill definitely didn't. So let's go dry it out and cure it. Too much. Let's see. Whoa. It's a real 2-inch board there. 2 by something. So shout out to the amazing Doug fir chunk we'll make a part of this house, and what I'm gonna do with them, I'm gonna leave this one. I cut two sides off, you know, see that, how big it is? And I'll leave, now we're gonna go from the top, and I got 21 inches across. So we're gonna leave the live edge on the side, and we're gonna turn this into countertops and shelving, so that our countertops kind of have one live edge that faces out, and the flat edge will go against the wall. Up until this point, I've only been able to produce a log like this with a chainsaw mill, you know? And it really leaves the wood real rough. And it becomes difficult to create dimensional wood. The thickness, yeah. We'll go get it. Let me say to the camera, then we'll go get it. With this sawmill, look at the quality of the edge.
Looks like a real log.
You were gonna say sexy,
Looks real sexy.
That's like a 7x7.
Looks nice.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go down this guy and go 2, 2, 2, 2, and produce a bunch of essentially 2x6s, 2x7s.
Nice.
This is for our kitchen. 这是我们的厨房。Go. 很壮, come on, strong. Go. Go, go, go. Look at Mama, say I'm doing it. Big jump. Whoa! All right.
Yeah.
Mama, turn it off. Mama, turn it off. You're here in the forest. So turn your volume up right now and listen to this. It's a Swainson's thrush. bird. I love it so much. I can do a lot of bird sounds and I have a pretty good whistle, but I can't even begin to think how you would create that. It feels like it's hitting my ears with fourth dimension sounds. Yeah, are you ready, bro? Okay. These are 16-foot 2x14s. Got it. And I think it's important that these roofs lean the same direction, which is going to be toward the forest right there, because that whole ridge of forest there is southern exposure. And I'm going to point the solar panels at that tree line there. Any trees we need for firewood or for the sawmill or for building purposes, we're taking from this southern exposure, because every time we take one, it gives us a little bit more sun, especially in the late fall, winter, and early spring. Watch out, stay back.
How is it up there?
Hey, it's hot.
It's
reflective.
Oh, I see.
这是我们的拖拉机，对吧？你做什么
I work it.
？Say 我工作。
工作。
Yeah, I working. Now, what are you doing to the tire?
It's cooking. Look, it's cooking there.
Oh, there's gunk in there.
Look,
Oh, you took it off.
Yeah, I took it off.
Oh, let's put it back on, okay?
Try.
That's okay, buddy.
I took it off.
We can put it back on. See, look.
I took it off. It's cooking there.
Well, let's fix it. Now it's all good. Now you can put it back on there, okay? Let me get it started for you. Okay. Now you go for it, okay? Go. What are you doing to the tire?
It's a deep in it.
That's right. So go to the other one. Next nut. Look, you gotta jiggle it. Jiggle, 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 jiggle. There you go. Now next one, okay? Yep. Oh, good work. Look at you. Now next one. Jiggle, jiggle. There you go. 谢谢你帮大的.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, so if they all tight, you know how to put tractor down?
Yeah.
Okay, show us. You go do it. Show me. Yeah, you go put it down. Okay, go show me how to do it. Let's see. All the way. Go. You did it.
Down.
Now the tire's ready. Thanks, buddy.
Down.
Okay, good job. High five. Good work.
Down.
Okay.
Way down.
All right. All right. Working so hard to finish this container house while being with our new young family at the same time, we also donate 1 day a week to sailing to keep our sailing education going. In the future, when the twins are old enough, we will travel between the properties, crossing oceans with the sailboat. Whoa, the baby is flipping over the rocks and eating the crab. Or crab with 3 babies.
When?
Last couple days. All around.
Yeah.
I go down. I just want to go by that island. Hey.
Collecting seaweed for our garden, and then I'm also gonna dry some out.
You are?
So we can do like a toasted sesame with seaweed.
Cool.
Like we've done before. It was really good.
Hey Fox, listen, ready? Listen.
What's that?
It's music. You want to try some?
No.
Here, I give you a new bracelet. On your whole hand there.
Wow.
There you go. Seaweed bracelet.
Let's see. It's so nice. The only way to get it off, you have to eat it off. Oh, just kidding.
Eat up.
Can you eat it?
Yeah.
Alright, you dehydrate all the stuff on the top.
Okay.
And then the stuff that's touching the buckets, I'll use for compost.
Okay.
This kind of kelp that has the nodules like this has just beautiful.
Looks like stained glass.
It does look like stained glass, yeah. That's all the way up. Now this one. This is our drinking water for the week. We drink 100% ocean water. That's all we drink. Yes?
No.
This is like one of those glass Japanese buoys, yeah?
Yeah.
Message in a bottle. I was going in. Oh my god. I got this handle. Oh, where's our cork? E R 3 4 5 6 7. Good job. Okay, almost ready for the buoy. Here we go, and big throw. Good job. Now big jump down. Next jump.
Cool. Okay, so I have the seaweed hung. I hung it on this. Alright, so I hung the seaweed on this drying rack, which is really handy because then I can move it, you know, when the sun shifts or at night I can move it inside over the wood stove. So Here we go. Now it's drying. The sun's gonna hit this spot. Sorry, it's really windy right now. The sun's gonna hit this spot in about an hour. So it'll dry. Honestly, it'll probably dry in a couple of hours. So I won't have to move it too much, but it's really nice. Finishing up with salt.
Why?
You're big now, yeah. Come on, Foxy. Come on, Fox. Come on, us. Okay, come and do a group hug. Let's go.
Mom, stay down. Mom, is that good soccer right now? Mom, is that good soccer? Wait.
Here, smell it. Smells so good. It smells so fragrant. Pick it up.
Let's see. Yeah, nice.
Smells so good. Oh, look, ice cream. Vanilla ice cream. Smells really good. Fox helped me. We got a whole bag full. But we left enough for the bees. And we said thank you. So we're planting Hopi sunflowers, which is like a purple sunflower, so I use for dyeing. It's absolutely stunning. It's just such a pretty color. Not so much for eating, it's just for dyeing, and it's really pretty. And for the bees, of course. So yeah, we're doing a whole row of sunflowers. And then a couple of Titan in between, so.
Nicolle 树可以踢足球。Right here, no, right here. Come by Dada. Yeah, come down here. Bye. We go, and then come back, and then hit, come back, hit, come back, hit, come back. Okay, let's see. Oh! Now big kick. Go. Yeah. Yeah. Jiao. There you go. Yep, get it, get it. Yeah, again. Let's go. Big one.
I'm not even halfway done harvesting all the garlic scapes. There's so many. I don't even know what I'm gonna do with all these. We'll probably freeze a bunch so we can use them during the winter. Just pull them out. Maybe like vacuum seal the bags and put them in the freezer. And then yeah, just cook with them, stir fries, put them in my bone broth. But I love garlic. I love the smell of garlic. It's just my favorite. It's like all over my hands. It smells so good. I have no idea how I'm gonna get in the middle of the beds and get the middle one, so let's go. Snack. Say currants.
It.
Picking the currants.
It back up it.
Okay.
It does a Harley greenhouse over there.
Yeah.
Really loaded.
It's really loaded, yeah.
We're loaded. Here's what we got so far. I'm having to pick them a little early just because the bugs are getting to them and they're molding. If I leave them a little, like if they're fully ripe, if I leave them to get fully ripe. Anyway, so I'm just gonna pick them a little bit early and then they'll just ripen on the counter. And honestly, they still taste really good even if they're a little white. I mean, they're scrumptious. So, yeah. Because I'm noticing the ones that are fully ripe are really mushy, or the snails have already gone to them, so I have to beat them to it. So, maybe I do like a strawberry raspberry jam or something.
Thanks, buddy. Can you go plant something in there?
Hey, with Nicolle and the twins and Fox, and I'm just experiencing how powerful women are, especially when it comes to raising humans and having a family that's beautiful and loving and together. And I think right now, especially with young kids, our family is thriving 99% because of Nicolle. So I can't work with her anymore, because if I ask her to film me or do any kind of jobs, it really it teeters the balance out of whack. You know what I'm saying? She's got enough to do with the kids and the home. So we're both just trying to do the best we can to get us in the house so that we can, both have our life improved by me not building as much and her having a better house to raise the kids in. So hence this, Part of that house is the landscape. So I'm trying to grow us a lot of edible food because it's one of Nicolle's and my goals and loves. So we're going to grow some hops and other climbers in this front arbor, and then we can go underneath it to get to the house. So once I kind of have this last landscaping project done, I might build 2 more raised beds and then be done doing landscaping and focus just on the house the rest of the summer. I'm having a bad back day. My back needs to snap back in position here. I just relax. This is what keeps me going. Okay, turn it up, volume up, listen. Here we go. Oh, that was one. That was a good one. I don't know if you guys heard that. Beautiful vines growing over top. Do your work, folks. Oh, the 3-year-old didn't pull his weight. This is the heaviest one. All right, walk backwards. Here we go. Okay, back, back, back. All right, now, here we go. Now throw it. 1, 2, 3, push. Good job, Fox.
Did it.
Yeah, you did it.
Is that hard work?
How's that hard work? Wait, not yet. Let that make it close here first.
All she can see is your foot.
What do you think?
I think it's awesome.
It is massive and big, but what did you say?
Maybe one of our kids will get married under it.
Yeah.
You never know. Imagine the flowers hanging down from here. Ready? Is it moving?
A little bit because I haven't tucked in the post, but it looks good. Try harder. Come on, let's go. That's pretty good.
It's all my strength.
No, it looks solid.
Ready?
Whoa.
Ta-da! Alright, you can have your stick back.